So ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to be doing part 3 of our Sun transit video. Because as I described, this is my new series on planetary transit, what each planet does when it transits. But the thing is, there's so much information you guys needed to know that literally this is the third part I have to make just on one planet. Because I'll be covering all the planets. But just one planet is taking 3 parts, maybe even 4 parts. So many people think that, transits is easy, or it's just easy to understand. Oh, 5 minutes, I just need to know, transits over this planet, it does this, transiting over this house will do that. No, there's a lot of things that go into it. So you guys need to watch my previous 2 videos before you watch this part 3 of Sun transit. And if you do not know what your planetary placements are, what your ascendant is, what your moon sign is, because you will need to understand that in order to understand, the dynamics of transits. For that, check out the links here. Check out my full astrological report, including my books, Astrology, Conjunction, and Aspects of the Speed of Light, including all my consultations at this link. So, today, we're going to discuss when Sun transit in your horoscope could be good, bad, or neutral. In the first video, we discussed what Sun does through each house. Second video, we saw what Sun does over each planet. This time, we're going a little bit deeper to understand if the transits of previous 2 videos is good, bad, neutral. So when we're looking at transit and we want to judge how this transit is going to be for a person whose chart you might be looking at, whether it's your own chart or someone else's, you have to understand certain houses in astrology, especially Vedic astrology. Like in astrology, the 1st, 4th, 7th, and 10th house become the most important, the most powerful houses. It's called Kendra, the square plate in the astrological chart of Vedic. These houses are the pillars of your life. They are the ones who really make you you. Your personality, who you are, is not through the 2nd house or the 3rd house or the 5th house or the 9th house. It's through the 1st, 4th, 7th, and 10th house. This is what you always revolve your life around. This is who you really are. So when Sun is controlling with his sign of Leo, because Sun rules the sign of Leo, if the sign of Leo is placed in the 1st, 4th, 7th, or 10th house, any Saturn of transit is going to bring empowerment to you. It's going to bring power within yourself. So let's say if Sun, rules your 1st house. Okay, it rules the ascendant of your horoscope and it transits the 8th house. What it does, it wants to bring a transformation in your life so you can change your life for the better. So for the month of that month where Saturn is transiting your zodiac sign of the 8th house, or in a way, if you saw my previous 2 videos, that the 7-degree mark of your ascendant degrees or planetary degrees, that's where Sun will really show its effect. And since it's ruling that powerhouse, the pillar house, your pillar is gonna need transformation. But because it's ruling the most powerful house, the transformation is gonna be for the better. Even if people in this time period, let's say, end up getting a surgery, because 8th house represents surgeries. What is it doing? It's giving you more power. You are saving your life. Your Sun is saving your life. Sun got you the surgery so you can, live longer. Whether it's your heart surgeries or, your brain surgery, whatever it is. Then comes the Trakone House, the triangle, the 1st, 5th, and 9th house. This is like the house of your dharma, what your deeds need to go towards in this life. What they're meant to go towards. They may not necessarily go towards those things, but what they're meant to go towards. And these are very, very potent houses. These are like the house of wealth, house of knowledge, wisdom, philosophy, your teachers, your creative self-expression. So whenever Sun is ruling these houses in your horoscope and is transiting whatever house in your horoscope, it's going to give results of those houses in the houses that it's transiting. So let's say if your Sun rules the 5th house and it transits the 2nd house. shows that you may earn something from your speculative wealth. If let's say you have investments, your investments might go up. You may get a bonus. You may win some bet. If Sun rules, let's say, the 9th house, and Sun is transiting the 4th house, for that particular month when it's transiting the zodiac, there could be foreign shift in your life. You may travel. You may leave your home to take a road trip. You may deal with issues related to father through which you can attain luck, which the 9th house is. There could be some luck coming into your home during this time because Sun is ruling the 9th house. So this is how the positive side works. Then comes the desire side. What is the desire side? It is the 3rd, 7th, and 11th house. These are the houses of our desire. 3rd house represents our desire to be skillful. It's our desire to express ourselves through our skills, like skills of hands, writing, sculpting, painting, editing, playing music. You like that. This is your desire because let's say if you were to play a guitar or a piano, people are going to like you. Men are going to go after you. Women are going to go after you. Then comes the 7th house. 7th house represents the desire to be with the opposite sex or the same sex. Desire to be exposed to the masses. Wanting to indulge in sexual relationships. That's most people's desires out there. Then comes the 11th house. 11th house is your hopes, visions, and desires. The actual desires. Like, okay, I want a Bentley. I want that Jay-Z's Bentley that I saw on that show. How can I get that? I want that Ferrari that my favorite rapper was driving in. How do I get that? These are the 11th house desires. So when Sun transits or Sun rules these houses, and whichever house it's transiting, it is bringing desires about those houses into the house it's transiting. So let's say if Sun rules your 7th house, Sun transits your 12th house. In this time period can show that you may have some sort of a foreign relationship happen if you're single. Through your partnerships, through your spouse, you may take a foreign trip. So let's say you get married, you have a spouse now, and through the spouse, your luck is increasing. You're like, hey, let's take a foreign trip. Or Sun rules the 3rd house, goes into the 10th house. Shows that whenever Sun transits the 10th house, Sun rules the 3rd house, doesn't go in the 10th house. Sun rules the 3rd house, but it's transiting your 10th house. So it's ruling the 3rd house in your horoscope, but on the yearly transit is in the 10th house transiting. Shows that at this time period, you like to express your creative skills. You like to show your skills to your coworkers, your bosses, like, look, I can do this. I have the skills to do this. You may like to perform in this time period. You may like to be seen through your skills. So it's bringing that desire to be exposed to the world because 10th house is the highest house in the sky. Now, of course, many people, do not want to hear the negative things. So when I get to the negative things, I'm going to give you the symbol. What you can do, you can mute my video. And when I give that symbol again, that means I have stopped talking about the negative things. So you can listen to me again. But let me come up to this particular house known as the Artha houses. 2nd house, 6th house, and 10th house. In astrology, these are known as Artha houses. Houses related to your earnings and income. How do you get your income? What derives your income? What kind of situations you run into when you earn your income? So when Sun rules these houses and any house is transits, it's going to bring about things related to your earnings in your horoscope at all times. So Sun rules the 2nd house. Sun transits the 6th house. What can happen? You may try to get a loan in this time period for a car, for a home. You may get a credit card offers. Sun rules your 6th house, goes into the 10th house. When it's transit, It may show that you may either become like this known figure in your work. You may get respect from work. Or you may get opportunities to change your jobs if it transits the 10th house or the 5th house. Especially when Sun transits the 5th house and it's ruling your 10th house, it can show change in jobs. Because Artha house is all about, has to do with our earnings, what we value in this life, how hard we work, what our reputation is outside. Because whatever our reputation is, the 10th house, that's how much money you're gonna make. Kind of like an actor. Like if Amitabh Bachchan was never known as the greatest superstar, he would not be getting paid all those crores of rupees every movie, right? So this is why these are important houses. So now I'm going to be discussing the negative houses, which are our 6th house, 8th house, and 12th house. So if you like, you can mute my thing, because I know many people are like, oh, you didn't warn us about negative things. I don't want to hear about them. Well, now it's the time to mute it, okay? So when Sun rules your 6th house as the Artha house, 6th house is not just the Artha house, it's a Dushtana house. It's a malefic house, like 6th, 8th, and 12th. 6th house is about illnesses, diseases, obstacles, enemies, disputes, scandals, accidents. 8th house is also accidents, sudden things happening. You know, it's not like you look at the watch and like, well, yeah, I'm supposed to be getting an accident by tomorrow at 10 a.m. No, you just don't know when the accident is going to happen. It just pops up. That's 8th house. Surgeries, life and death scenarios, psychological baggage, seeing, you know, occultic things, ghosts, negative spirit, 8th house. Then comes the 12th house. 12th house is a bit of a negative house, but not anymore. 12th house really represents now multinational companies, foreign travel, foreign places, spiritual ashrams. But 12th house also represents jail, confinement, asylums, hospitals. So these are the negative houses. So anytime Sun rules these houses and it transits any house, it can bring about the qualities of the house that it rules into your other house. Let's say Sun rules your 8th house, goes into the ascendant, can show that suddenly you may have to have a surgery. You're 55 years old. Suddenly you go to the doctor and he says, look, man, you got to get a bypass surgery today. And not just one, but quadruple bypass surgery. It needs to happen now. Because the chest pains that you're telling me about a little bit, this is happening right now. 6th Lord Sun rules, goes into the ascendant. Can show you can experience some sort of an illness. You can experience fever. You may, you know, have some accident happen. Especially the other transit have to be there, like Mars, for like especially accidents. But these are the things that do, like a 6th Lord in the ascendant can show, or 6th Lord in the 2nd house can show a person can get into debt in this time. They feel like they're getting the income, 2nd house, but it's just a credit card. People get into these notions, oh, $5,000 limit, oh my God, I'm going to go buy myself this, this, and this. They don't realize they have to pay that money back. And when they don't, the stress comes into play. It feels like a argala, like obstruction in your life. It feels like you can't do anything because you got this debt hovering over you in your head. So all of these negative things happen. You know, 12th Lord Sun goes into the 2nd house, transiting wise, like it rules your 2nd house, and then it transits your 2nd house, you know, once a year. Then it can show that your savings could be depleting during that time. You maybe have to dish out a lot of money to do something. You may have extra bills come up. So these are the ways you will see these negative houses work. Okay. So now you can start watching and unmute it, and I will no longer talk about the negative things. But literally everything has to be judged from these ways. The first 2 videos that I made, you're going to use those concepts. Then you're going to use this concept. But also, you have to look at the dignity of each planet. So like Sun has a heart. Just like us, we have all our internal organs. Each planet has its internal organs. To see the heart of a planet, look at the Namansha chart, the D9. Look at the placement of where the Sun is. What sign it's placed in. What aspects it's receiving. because that will truly show the dignity of your sun. You know how sometimes sun rules the 8th house in your horoscope? But if it transits the 2nd house, you get sudden money. You get bonus happening. Why? I thought this was a negative house. No. Again, this is a chess game that you have to understand, that looking at the Namancha chart, you see that sun is exalted in the 5th house. Okay. I am going to see that this transit is going to bring something good for me. Then you also look at the Sastyamsa chart, D60. That tells you, that gives you the funnel result, the overall result of sun. So let's say sun is good in 3 different divisional charts, including a birth chart. But in Sastyamsa is debilitated. What happens is that 100% positive results may be reduced to 60%. So what you might be thinking, oh, I should be getting $1 million in this time. Well, it may not be $1 million, it may be $250,000, maybe $90,000. So this is how you look at it. Like whenever I do consultations, I usually cannot tell people these things. Like, oh, well, sun's going to transit here, Jupiter's going to transit here. Because most of the time, the people that I see the chart of, I see that these transits are not going to be fructifying, and the time periods for success is not going to come for 10-15 years. This is why I don't discuss these things in detail. This is why I have my principles. Many astrologers will tell you your son's debilitated, your father's going to die next year, this when it transits here and there. Nobody needs to know that. Nobody wants to know that. I don't do that. But one thing is for sure, your free will change all that. Your free will in astrology is like a spark. You know how a spark can light a fire in a forest and change the whole dynamic of the forest that the nature built? Same thing. Your free will is like the spark that can change the dynamic of your destiny, dynamics of your preset, events. This is why people don't realize that free will is actually very, very important in astrology. Without it, there's no use of astrology. This is why all the sages, the ancient sages, have given significant amount of percentage to free will. Okay? So guys, this was my analysis of Sun Transit, part 3. I'm not sure if there's going to be a part 4. But in any case, if you're new to my channel, subscribe below. Again, if you want to know where your sun is placed, what house it rules, how it's going to transit, all those information, check out the links here. Check out my full astrological report, my books and consultations. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow with our Nakshatra series. Okay? Bye-bye.